taking our country to a new level. We're leading the world. We're leading China, but we're leading the world by a lot. And we're leading it because of the people around the table. And all I can do is implement and make it a lot easier for you. And I'll be doing that 100%. So I just want to thank you all.
This brand new rental community in Tempe has all the amenities: fitness center, dog park, outdoor kitchens, but something's missing. So there are no cars in this community at all.
Isn't it great?
Cul-de-sac is the first community in the U.S. designed and built specifically for car-free living. Co-founder Ryan Johnson says the demand is strong.
Every generation, and including 90% of Gen Z, would like to pay more to live in a walkable neighborhood.
Retail, restaurants, and to start, nearly 200 apartments, all within steps of each other. No cars means no parking spaces, no garages.
Your family's World Liberty token had a few volatile first few days of trading, but still, your family stands to rake in billions from the token. The Wall Street Journal reported on Monday that your family amassed as much as $5 billion in wealth after the token opened for trading. Can you confirm that number or give more insight there? And do you plan to use the proceeds from the token launch for other crypto ventures? World Liberty launched the dollar-backed stablecoin USD1 back in March, of course, but are any other new Trump family crypto ventures on the horizon?
So, USD1 is the fastest growing stablecoin in history by far. We started trading at 1 penny, and when we went public the other day, it's roughly trading at 25. So it was almost a 25x in a couple months. So it was an unbelievable success, and I think you guys gave us a lot of credit for it. But listen, this whole voyage started out of just what the banks did to us, traditional financial system did to us. I mean, I was canceled like a dog for running golf courses, for running hotels. I mean, Capital One stripped 300 bank accounts in the middle of the night from me from doing absolutely nothing wrong, only because my family wore a red hat that said "Make America Great Again." I would have never found cryptocurrency had it not been for what the traditional financial institutions did to us. Now they're all coming back, trying to do the exact opposite, trying to get our accounts back and everything else. But it brought me into a world that I believe is so powerful. I mean, why are money transfers sent out 9 to 5 Monday through Friday? Why isn't global finance 24/7? Why is it that you can take a young couple 120 days to get a mortgage, if they can even get a mortgage at all, from a bank that they've done business with for 10 years? I mean, the traditional banking system has so many fundamental problems, and there isn't a week that goes by where I'm not waiting for a swift wire transfer to come in or be sent out, where I'm worried that if I miss the 459, the company is not going to receive it until the next Tuesday. I mean, it's antiquated, it's slow, it's inefficient as hell, and it's not until I started getting canceled and had to come up with an alternative did I figure out how cryptocurrency just across the spectrum, whether it be Bitcoin, whether it be what we're doing with American Bitcoin, whether it be stablecoin as kind of rails for payments, is going to transform really the world, not just America, but the world, and also provide so much economic freedom to so many people in countries that do not have the system that we have here in the United States of America. So crypto, I am in it for the long haul. I hope to become one of the great spokespeople for the industry. I think I've proven that over the last 2 years, and there's nothing I'm more passionate about, and we're doing phenomenal on both fronts. We have the two best projects in all of cryptocurrency, and today's a very special day for American Bitcoin.
We also like IPOs that people can get in rather than these rocket ships. But I want you to tell people in your own words what Hinge Health is doing that makes it so you've got a moat, you're separate from everybody else, and you scale.
Well, thank you. Look, ultimately our vision at Hinge is to use technology to automate and scale the delivery of healthcare. If you think about healthcare overall, technology goes into most other aspects of our economy, and it makes things better and a little bit cheaper. The features you have in a car today would have been considered luxury 20 years ago, and a percentage of income, it's probably the same if not lower. It's upside down, that equation in healthcare. A bunch of technology comes into healthcare, and yet prices don't go up. The member experience, the patient experience doesn't get better. So at Hinge, we're using technology to automate care itself, because that's been a challenge with healthcare. And the key moats that we have in the business is our technology moat and our channel partners. We've really focused on building things that are 3 to 4 years ahead of what we think anybody else in our sector is working on. And that's meant 50 plus health insurance companies, pharmacy benefit managers have chosen us as their preferred digital PT solution. And that gives us preferential access to customers. That means a customer could buy us without having to worry about IT security, procurement, contracting. We're not just the best product on the market or the most validated. we're easy to buy. Keep automating care. And we started with PT. PT is interesting. It's like it's only 1.2, 1.3% of total healthcare is PT spend, but it's still $60 billion market. And so we're using technology to scale and automate three key components of rehab. One is your exercises. You know, when you got knee arthritis, hip arthritis, chronic low back pain, you got to take you through stretching and strengthening activities.
Right.
We use computer vision. That is using the front-facing camera on your phone to track 100 unique landmarks on your body so we could guide you through your exercise therapy right from the comfort of your own home. But Jim, you might be in too much pain to do exercises, so we've also developed a pain management device called Enzo that you could use. It delivers electrical nerve stimulation, and it gives people a technology alternative to pain medication. And lastly, we have a generative AI tool that allows us to scale and automate and increase the throughput of our care team. So as we automate the reading and the summary of a patient chart on what's the next best action, so we could increase the throughput of our physical therapists.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And you know I come back with that video just to make you think. And make sure you join the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. Also, go like and follow the TikTok. More videos to come. And we have Trump again telling the world the truth. Meeting with the AI CEOs. And of course, Bill Gates was sitting at that seat. And Trump says he's going to make it a whole lot easier. And what is he talking about? That's right, implementing this fourth industrial revolution. We had Meta. Zuckerberg says he's going to be putting $600 billion for the build-out. Tim Cook saying the same thing. But when we look at their profits, we have Meta's Q1 about $14 billion, Apple about $36 billion. Guys, the numbers never add up. And we have trillion-dollar companies sitting on the stock market, and it's all based on valuation, nothing else. The Fed printed 80% of all money in existence in 2 years, and they had to put that money somewhere. And we saw all this money go into the Magnificent Seven. That's impossible unless there's a plan. And guys, we know what that plan is. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. And we have a community with no cars. Remember, guys, you own nothing, but you will be happy. And there's nothing wrong with having communities like this, because right now we know the community is gone. Most neighborhoods, neighbors don't even speak. But the fact is, this is being done because of an agenda. You don't need to restrict my travel in order to get back to a community. And then when you add in social credit, you may stop me from getting on the rail. So therefore, only thing I can do is walk around in my community. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now we have Eric Trump asked about the family $5 to $6 billion come up that they received off of the World Liberty Financial Token being launched. And of course, he dodges the question. He's a great salesman, just like his dad. Went back to the same talking points. And of course, guys, we know these digital assets are the new payment rails. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. And we have the biggest sector, one of the biggest sectors, that's right, healthcare. And we know during the C word for these past few years, the government was responsible for all this employment. And that's the reason why employment is tanking. Healthcare is about to get turned upside down due to technology. And I've done plenty of videos on this, and we haven't even seen all the automation that's going to run through the healthcare sector. If you look at the TikTok, you can see when you look overseas, you see all the technology where they don't need humans to do a lot of the work. And this is nothing but a setup for the metaverse and the digital twin. Automation AI is going to transform this industry. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now we have Jim Cramer says when the Fed starts cutting, the slow-growing retail stocks will get a turbocharge. And that is definitely not correct. Now, of course, retail is definitely going to benefit short-term because we have the holidays coming up. But due to inflation, uncertainty of the job market, and then plus all these layoffs, people are definitely changing their spending habits. So again, we know retail always gets a pump due to the holidays. You got Thanksgiving and Christmas. But after that, we're going to see layoffs pick up and inflation kick in as the Fed is cutting rates. And then on top of it, we know Jerome Powell is going to be riding off in the sun in May of 2026. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we have corporations turn to AI agents. And of course, the narrative is they're there to help the representatives increase their productivity. But really, these AI agents are learning from the representative to replace the representative. How old are these AI chat bots? Guys, you can go back to 1966. This technology is old, but remember, guys, it's a plan and moves and phases. I used to work with chat bots in the early 2000s, so I know for a fact they have something way better behind that curtain. But first, they have to bring on the crisis. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Remember, during the C word, Zoom was not ready for any reason. It was over 10 years old. None of that would have worked without video chat. Always remember, there is a plan. Now we have Trump executive order for trade deal with Japan. And don't forget, guys, Japan still owns a lot of our debt. And eventually, they're going to start raising rates. And we have the bond market is letting us know that Trump has to refinance close to $10 trillion soon. All this debt. And again, Japan owns a lot of it. And we're going to have a black swan coming soon to distract the sheep. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we have ConocoPhillips to cut workforce. And guys, they keep coming. Layoff after layoff. If you're part of the Patreon, you know I keep sending them to you. And these are the big companies with the good jobs. 25% of its staff. And guys, you know, a lot of these people probably been on their job forever. So that means they have pensions. And all the cuts are expected in 2025. It's not over a few years. They're cutting it right now. And again, we're going to see layoffs pick up in 2026. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Because he knows, when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
When the Fed does start cutting, your slow-growing retailer stock gets turbocharged as all the so-called smart money then comes flying in. If you bought the stock on the dip like we suggested, you now have the privilege to call those people chasing the stock of Home Depot by their real names, dumb money. And I only put it that politely because there's some words that you can't say on basic cable or even streaming.
You mentioned agents. We launched our first set of agents last year, and we have continued to announce more agents. And as of now, we have 3 big agents: customer agent, which answers the support questions, as well as any question across sales, marketing, and success; prospecting agent, which can actually research accounts and do outreach on behalf of sales; as well as data agent to enrich the knowledge about your customer. All of these are available for our customers.
And guys, busy hour. The White House is now saying via social media that President Trump has officially signed an executive order that will implement a trade deal with the country of Japan. Now, this sort of formalizes that framework agreement that was put in place earlier this summer. And the biggest detail here that matters the most is that they are now finally formalizing a 15% tariff for all imported cars from Japan. Remember, it was announced as a detail that would happen, but the White House had slow-walked this one, had wanted to see more from Japan before they implemented that. Now, according to this the text of this executive order, which again was posted on the White House's social media account, it says that that will now be applied and that it will be backdated back to August 7th for all cars coming in from Japan. In exchange, they also say the government of Japan has agreed to make more concessions, including market access for some key U.S. sectors, specifically U.S. rice, other agricultural goods, fertilizer, bioethanol, in amounts, they say, totaling $8 billion per year. They will also work to buy more U.S. cars in Japan, as well as commercial aircraft and defense equipment. And they say, they reiterate, because this was part of the original deal as well, that Japan has agreed to invest $550 billion in the United States. And they say again in the executive order that those projects will be selected by the United States government.
No, I don't think it's contagion. I think it is incidentally really in global bond markets, sort of several idiosyncratic factors that are meeting at the same time. We look at JGBs, we look at Japan, obviously they've got a bit of a funding gap as well. When we look at Japan, we know that obviously finances are not in a particularly great state with debt to GDP, but in Japan also we know that underlying inflation pressures are in fact really going the wrong direction, so they're really both the front end and the long end probably still have a little bit further to go. That's very Japan specific. In the UK as well, it's very UK specific, the twin deficit issue in the UK plus the budget situation in the UK. And in treasuries, and particularly the long end of the treasuries, obviously what we've seen and what we are still seeing is this speculation that has been really with us since late July around that, this question and the speculation around the end of independence of the Fed, which I don't really necessarily buy into at all. But again, that's sort of those idiosyncratic factors that all come together. I don't think it's necessarily contagion and therefore, there's only one way up. That, I think, is perhaps people making it a little bit too systemic of an issue than it actually really is. And
does it change the way you view the company?
Yeah, so look, I think to some extent, some of the job cuts should have been anticipated. On their second quarter earnings call in early August, they highlighted a plan to cut about $1 billion of costs from the business. And this is going to be spread out over several areas, and G&A was one of those areas. So certainly I expected to see some cuts coming from the company, but look, I think you're correct that the 25% number certainly jumps out at you, and the magnitude was probably a little higher than I expected here.
We're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. We will, and if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting at more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.